is good, everyone? It is the Chicago Clubhouse Network. I am the Crooked Commish, as you all know. Welcome back to the Clubhouse. I'm happy you all could join us. We are back here with a doubleheader today. If you were with us a little earlier, we were doing the Bears-Vikings pregame show, which is going on right now. So I may be, not going to lie, may be slightly distracted, just a little bit, kind of checking to see how bad my Bears are getting beat, and along with talking fantasy football. We have a big week, though. It is a championship, or the first week of the playoffs. Yes, that's right, Jim Mora. I did say playoffs. So,
playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Hey, if you make the playoffs, you've won a few games. So, and there's JJ there. Anybody that needed JJ in fantasy, he just got you a touchdown right there. So if that was your boy mouth in the background, if that was your boy, then there you go. So Brian Price, watching you guys already. Yeah, I could have told you that already, Brian. I could have told you that. We're already losing. It's going to be pretty ugly. Jesus Christ, how do you leave them that open? Anyways, thank you guys, like I said, for tuning in with us. Hopefully you guys did make the fantasy football playoffs. If you did, let us know how you did. Are you going on to round 2? Did you need someone like JJ, or do you need some more points to get you into the next round? If so, let us know. We'd love to hear about it. We'd love to hear you guys brag, or, we're here to have a shoulder for you to cry on if you guys didn't make it. Let us know. But anyways, before I get further into it, let's go ahead and get the show kicked off. And I'll go ahead and bring in my co-host, the mouth from the Bay, and he is the loudest mouth in fantasy football. I guarantee you guys that. So, and then also we have the Crooked Commish highlight tape here. So Week 15 highlights brought to you by the Crooked Commish and Fantasy Jocks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick it off. And we're back. Welcome back to the Clubhouse, guys. I'm your boy, the guy that everyone loves to hate, the Crooked Commish. Please hit that thumbs up button as you're getting into the Clubhouse. We really do appreciate it. Doesn't cost you anything. You won't get a bill in the mail or any kind of hidden fees or any shit like that. So no reason for you not to hit the like button. Please share us to other fellow fantasy football members, any league mates that you may have, that I'm sure you do have. Go ahead and introduce us to them. So we got a lot to talk about. Let me go ahead and bring in my co-host here. He's waiting in the back patiently, drinking his beer. It's not a Moore's beer. You should be drinking some Moore's beer if you do have it. We're going to get some here to share with you guys here. But the mouth from the Bay and the loudest mouth in fantasy football, welcome to the show.
There we go. You know what? Good old JJ. There we go. You gotta get my shit in the background. Gotta watch that shit. Sorry if I jumped into your shit. I had to look at the game. There you go. I just been stealing on my goddamn touchdown, so this motherfucker finally got caught some win. Right in time. Take that number one spot from you. Yeah, buddy. Take that number one spot from you. That's what I'm just saying. It don't matter. I don't give a shit. I could be number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm gonna write that shit to the goddamn fucking rhythms well off. We're gonna hit this championship this year, motherfuckers. We're gonna hit this championship.
Yeah, so you say. We'll see if let's see if you don't make
it. Yeah. Like I might see you soon. Yeah. I might see you real soon. It's okay. I understand that. We got a lot of fucking bottom peddlers. Got a lot of people at the bottom who know what the fuck they're doing. This is what it. It's
You
insane.
sound like
Everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting for the bottom this year. Everybody's fighting for the bottom this year. We got this hardcore year has been insane. I love it. I love it. I love the fact that everybody's been like switching lanes so much. Like
Mhm.
Diva.
Yeah.
I
No.
apologize. You're stuck at the bottom. But anybody else who wants to go and join him, I'm gonna be kicking kicking Jay down there. Whoever
Right.
is gonna
Right.
go, it doesn't matter. But
So Chris
it's
Matthews,
been
thank you
great.
for joining us. Go Bears and good morning from the UK. Thank you for tuning
Oh
in to us
shit, the
from the UK.
UK.
Shit. We got to push
Absolutely.
international
Yeah.
on this motherfucker right here.
Hey, this is my team right here, motherfucker. Let's go. This is my team right here.
Yeah, because that team on your shirt ain't doing shit, just like my team ain't doing shit.
Hey, just
So,
hey,
but
we're not talking about teams, asshole. We're talking about fantasy. We're keeping it fantasy, bitch. Fuck
all
off.
right,
Okay? Because if you
comic
want to talk
books.
shit, my team actually did fucking spank this shit out of your team about a few weeks ago. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to bring up
No,
shit. I want to bring up old shit. Don't want to bring up old shit, but
hey, at
it
least
is what
none
it
of
is.
my players, at least none of our players quit mid-game and said, "Deuces, fuck this, I'm
Well,
going to the locker room."
he was a Green Bay
What
fucking
was up with
Packer.
that?
So he was a Green Bay
That
fucking
makes
Packer.
sense.
So that whatever. But our GM went
Yeah,
down and said, "Get the fuck off my sideline, you sorry fuck." And for calling anybody else to say we got a fucking goddamn locker room problem and whatever culture problem, you're a
we
piece of
do. You
shit.
got a
Fuck
coach
you.
problem. I know
No,
bad
you know what?
coaches. You got one of
Yeah,
them,
no,
and we need it.
no, we don't got a bad coach. No, you got a bad coach, which we got fired over and over and over again.
Talking about old shit
We
again.
had
Talking
one
about old shit.
crybaby ass little pussy who decided he wanted to quit on his team because he decided he was better than Drake Greenlaw. Are you fucking kidding me? You thought
And
you
who
were
was
better than Drake Greenlaw off of fucking Achilles? Get the fuck out of here, bitch. You were a goddamn seat bench warmer, motherfucker. I'm glad you're fucking gone. You know what? I'm gonna calm down because this guy needs to get fucking serious help. Someone should talk to him, get to him, because this is true shit. Okay. He needs to be talked by someone. He just gave up a bunch of shit ton of money because he didn't want to play football no more. Because his feelings got hurt because a better player was going to go over there and take a spot, which he knew damn well he was never going to be the guy for the rest of the year. So it's crazy that he thought that just saying I'm not going to go in there, like you're not Scottie Pippen, motherfucker, you're not anybody, whatever. So I'm happy that my GM went down there and told him, get the fuck off my sideline. Don't come back. Now he's going to make him sit there. Instead of release his ass,
not
he's
cutting
going to
him?
make him
Not
sit
cutting him.
there. No, he's going to suspend his ass and recoup
Mhm.
as much money as they can for the organization. I'm sorry. In football, you don't walk off on your people. You don't walk off on your boys. You don't walk off on anything. That was a huge ass game that this cocksucker motherfucker, pussy bitch ass. And if he's in front of me, I don't give a fuck how big his ass. I'll take the swing. You walked out on your fucking people. You walked out.
Yeah, can't argue with
You
that.
sat down and you said, no, my life is more important than yours. You got a guy who got shot in the chest. You got two people who lost kids. Not kids, babies who are still out there. You got the captain of the defense who's out there for 8 weeks on a broken leg. So I'm sorry. There's no culture situation in Santa Clara, San Francisco, what the fuck you want to say. There's one crybaby ass pussy motherfucker who lost his fucking job, who knew damn well when that guy came back he was gonna lose anyway. I'm
He
gonna
should have.
stop our shit so we can continue our fucking show. Like I'll keep going for the rest of the fucking time.
No, I
Fuck
know.
DeAndre fucking Campbell. He's a pussy ass motherfucker. I don't give a shit how big his ass. I'll punch him in his neck.
And that's why you're the loudest mouth in fantasy football there.
I am not
You say it
sorry
with your
about that
chest.
either. I said it
Hey,
on my chest. I said, bang, bang, motherfucker. That is
so what do you think
horrible.
of
I'm
this
sorry.
comment here? What do you think of this comment?
I,
Pooper Rush outscores Kyler Murray. It's funny how that happened. I mean, fantasy wise, I mean everyone has their day there. So
I mean, that's, you can't fuck. Fantasy League is different, dog. Holy crap. I mean,
you did say it
sometimes
was a
you're
fickle
rooting for,
pitch.
sometimes you're rooting for the fucking, the evil people on your fucking, on your bench, whatever. Like, you can, I can't even fucking say it the right way. Like sometimes I gotta root for a fucking Cowboy fan. Cowboy fan. You know, like I was like, but
like CD.
it's like, but you know, if you have CD Lamb on your squad, like I want to go for 3 touchdowns and 110 and still lose by like 25. Like, I mean, I want like 50 to like, like it's just crazy. You know, it's just the way
Yeah, this guy.
fantasy sucks because it makes you root for your against your own team because you can't have like McCaffrey on your team and then you know Debo scores and I'm pissed. Everybody's like and I'm fucking mad and I'm
You're
fucking
salty. You're
mad.
giving salty high. Yeah.
And I'm like salty high fives. I'm like that wasn't my guy. That wasn't my guy. Fuck that guy. You know, fuck him. You know what I mean? You know, like it's just the way fantasy is. Like if you're a fucking true diehard football fan of your team, and then you play fantasy, you're gonna be conflicted almost every fucking weekend. Almost every fucking weekend. It doesn't matter who you are, what team you fucking represent, what squad you is yours. There's gonna be a game where you're like, fuck this guy. Like I'm tired of him scoring against me. But you're like, but I won my ass in my fantasy. You know?
Or you say, fuck this, like Matt Henry here, got Pooper Cup. You know what I mean? Like if you had Cooper Cup this past week.
Oh, that sucked. Oh my God, that had to suck.
That killed you. Him and
that's zero.
He had 0 points. That was fucking brutal.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? It's funny because I had Puka, so he still did me good. And I had Stafford. I stacked him against my, I stacked him against my own team before. So I'm like, fuck it, why not? You know, so I mean, the great thing is like that Brock Purdy didn't do anything either. Like, which is so fucked up to say in my head to say that because the Brock Purdy did nothing when we lost that game and it fucking killed me.
I like that, Matt. Brock Turdy. I got Turdy.
Okay, you know what, Brian? I know who you are, and I will find you. I will hunt you down. But when I do, I will step on your fucking big toe. You sorry fucking Green Bay fuck, because we've knocked you out the fucking goddamn playoffs. How many years, you sorry son of the sack of shit? Yeah, keep talking shit, Brian. I will find you and hunt you down.
And that wasn't even Brian that said that.
Oh, what the fuck? I know which one it is. I'm talking shit to the wrong person. Talking shit to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck all you Green Bay people.
I came out.
Hey, fuck all you Green Bay. So sorry.
Everyone.
Actually, I'm not.
Everyone could fucking get it. So Monday night.
All you fucking people.
So 5 a.m. UK style Bears, brother. Yeah, damn. That's dedication right there. Especially when the team's not even really winning this season, not having a good season. You're still getting up in the wee hours of the morning to come check them out. I mean, you're the real MVP. That's all I'm saying right there.
I'll give you everything. Good shit, brother.
Let's get into it. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, I want to look a little bit into the future if we could. There's a few names that I brought up here that I want to talk about that were going to be potential free agents in this upcoming year. So I wanted to kind of kick some of these names back and forth, talk about if we think they'll stay where they're at, or will they go? And if they do go, what landing spot do you see them possibly landing? So the first guy I wanted to bring up is one of the guys that's playing tonight, and he signed a 1-year deal. He was a former cheesehead, went over to Minnesota there. He signed a deal with the Vikings, going to be a free agent kind of next year and see what he did. He's 30 years old, just turned 30, had 197 attempts, almost 1,000 yards so far rushing, 6 total touchdowns, 37 receptions, 302 yards. So it does look like he still has some gas in the tank. Do you think it's something that Minnesota would possibly just go ahead and re-sign him now that he showed that, he wasn't, completely done, or could you see him possibly?
Well, yeah. Let me think about it. Like, so like, think about who's on the roster. So,
right.
Like, first of all, just who's on the roster. They got Cam Akers, and they got Tyson and Ty Chandler. So I think Ty Chandler got hurt and he was done. That's why they got Cam Akers. So for them, it sucks because they're going to be at the bottom of the draft. Like they're already 11-2. They're possibly gonna like be a number one seed if they can keep going. If they can beat Chicago. Sorry, no, but
Yeah,
I mean,
they've done it
but
already
they
once.
have that big ass game at the end of the year, that flex game with Detroit, and that week 18 game that will probably decide if they're a one seed or a two seed or a five seed. So they're not going to get any kind of running back in the beginning of the draft to just take a Genti or someone else that they could possibly replace Aaron Jones with.
Mhm.
So I see them giving him a 1 year contract, doing something like that, unless someone from another team decide fuck it, I'm gonna jump over there. But once again, like their QB situation is gonna be interesting in the offseason because they tagged JJ McCarthy as that guy. Like they did. In the offseason, he was already done. He was the guy. He was gonna go out there. He got hurt, and Sam Donald fucking
He's stepping in well.
actually he played better, almost better than Kirk Cousins this year, definitely than Kirk Cousins. But he became the new Kirk Cousins, for them. And so they have a lot of decisions to make. Like you bring a rookie running back or whatever kind of running back
Yeah.
with a basically a rookie, QB because he didn't play this year. So he's not proven he could be that person or do anything. You know, the good thing is that Bo Nix, Jaden, Daniels, and even CJ Stroud last year has shown that if you play enough and you do enough and you've shown enough that you can slip into NFL and just hit the ground running. And the good thing for him is that he had Harbaugh, who was playing basically a NFL, playbook in Michigan, and he didn't have to do everything in Michigan, but he did enough to show that he could be, possibly that person who could be like a Bo Nix. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be like a Jaden Daniels,
Mhm.
possibly a Caleb Williams. He has that upside, but if Bo Nix can go in there and just kind of get the right, you know, offensive coordinator, head coach type of thing, and do anything. We already seen Stefanski, or what's his name in Minnesota. He's a damn good head coach.
Kevin O'Connor.
So
So I
Kevin
agree,
O'Connor,
and I didn't. I That's a good point that you make up with JJ being McCarthy's going to be basically a rookie coming up next season, and the Vikings. It would serve them right to continue to have a veteran back like Aaron Jones in the backfield to kind of help him out, help the guy out when he gets a little confused or not sure, or be a good like a safety valve when he needs to check it down and whatnot. But if Aaron Jones were to happen to leave, I could see somewhere maybe Pittsburgh would be a decent and good fit since they might be moving on if they want to move on from Najee since they didn't pick up Najee's fifth-year rookie option. He's going to be a free agent as well, so. I could see maybe either Pittsburgh or possibly even Denver because I don't think
that's
Denver's
a good question. Like, so where's
Devontae.
Jalen Warren at? Where's Jalen Warren's a year behind like Najee, right? So they still have Jalen Warren. Okay,
They might, but still, like Jaden Warren, he gets dinged up and like
no. I'm just asking about contract wise because contract wise,
oh
the numbers always matter. The numbers always matter
yeah
because I don't know about their cap. Where they're at. Obviously, it's become like I've heard it more and more a 7-on-7 league. So
mhm,
wide receivers are getting paid.
right.
Running backs had their time and they kind of like faded. But Zeke and all these guys fucked it up. They did.
But
Like
Saquon kind of he's showing that he is
I
worth the
mean,
money.
but I'm saying, but there's not Saquons out there. Maybe Genti coming out of college, but there's not that Saquon guy no more. You know what I mean? Like
Gotcha. All right.
it's difficult to say. So I mean, you got to think about like people's like cap space because cap space means everything.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I mean, like I said, Minnesota, like I said, would it? Or you're saying probably would be a smart choice for him to re-sign and re-up there. I don't know if he would go for another 1-year contract. I think he would want a little bit more security. I think they would have to give him at least a 3-year contract. And we know that these contracts are written on napkins. He's not going to see all 3 years of that contract.
But he's 30 years old too, though. He's 30 years old, so you're not going to give him. He's on that 1-year contract mode because he was like that in Green Bay. It's why Green Bay moved off him and got Jed Jacobs, who was like 4 years younger than him. And we're like, we'll get like at least 2-3 years of Josh Jacobs rather than maybe 1.5 years of Aaron Jones. So,
Chris, thank you for joining us. You have a good day as well. Like I said, please like and subscribe and come back and check us out again. We really do appreciate any views and any kind of comments.
Always, yeah.
So we really do appreciate it. Thank you for checking us out. Let's go ahead and move on to our next guy who's still part of that same team. You just brought him up, so I figured might as well bring him up as well and talk about Sam Darnold. He's another one of the guys that signed a 1-year contract, looking to have a good year and then hit the free agent wire and get a longer contract. He has a 68.4 completion rating, just over or almost at 3,300 yards. I probably just passed it right now playing this game. 29 touchdown passes with 4 games left to go. 10 interceptions, QBR rating of 61.1. So not like we were saying earlier, much better than I think a lot of us were expecting to see or maybe anticipating to see out of Sam Darnold. So,
I mean, I kind of say the crazy thing is he was with the Niners last year. So I was sad to see him as a backup to leave, but I was happy to see him go. You know what I mean? So there was things that he learned, obviously in San Francisco, like footwork and things right there, like to be on time and to do things. Just honestly, he grew up as a person, and now he's blowing the fuck up. So for me, I see him getting a Baker Mayfield contract. He's gonna get like a 3-year, 120 something, 80, $90 million. Huh?
Where do you think would be possibly a good spot for him to land at, though?
That is different because there's going to be a lot of people like who need QBs. I mean, like you think about like both New York teams need a QB. Both New York, like I said, both New York quarterbacks are fucking trash. They're probably out. Now it depends on who decides want to draft Shador, who wants to draft Cam Ward. So those are 2 people that are probably out. I mean, does he want to go to Cleveland? I probably wouldn't go to Cleveland if I was.
I don't think anybody wants to go to Cleveland.
I would go to Sam Darnold. I wouldn't go to Cleveland because Cleveland doesn't know what the fuck they're gonna do with what's his name? What's
He's
his
throwing
name?
a team out there that's maybe. What do you think of possibly New Orleans? Because I don't think they're really happy with Derek Carr, and I wouldn't be.
That wouldn't be a bad thing because Derek Carr, I think, is not washed, but he's starting to take a lot of hits and not being able to stay long term. And the thing is, Sam Darnold can actually get us out of the pocket and make some plays with with his arm. That way, because he can flush out the pocket and do things. Only thing is, he likes throwing to the team too. So you got to think about like the price range for like someone like him. Like I said, is probably like 40 to like $48 million. For 3 years. So he's gonna get like about 125 to like 140, but probably like $80 million guaranteed. He's done that this year.
Okay.
There's no way he's staying in Minnesota as a backup. I'm sorry, like he's made his money, and the further that he goes with Minnesota, if they take over the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, and they win 2-3 games in the NFC Championship game, he already took them further than Kirk Cousins ever took them. the whole time Kirk Cousins was there in 1 year. So you have, I mean, we've had this conversation about Brock Purdy. Like, I'm sorry, like you're gonna get paid at that point in time. You have to pay the man. You have to pay the man. If you want that kind of quarterback play, and maybe you try to get him with some standings or whatever. But there's going to be other teams because this year in college, it's not a great like NFL. Like
QBs, yeah, QB,
QBs.
yeah.
You have 2 or 3 that might be those guys. And even then, there's Cam Ward is someone who has a big arm, who might be the next, uh, Josh Allen. But that's
Okay.
not going to say anything because everybody Josh Allen was a fucking bust until the last few years. So I mean, you got to think about that. Like Shador Sanders seems like someone who's either going to go to the Giants or the Raiders, and who knows if it happens if his dad jumps ship and decides to like not coach college football and go with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother situation on top of that.
If it was just my gut feeling is telling me that he'll probably end up in the AFC South somewhere. So I'm thinking either Tennessee Titans or, like I said, the Saints probably, I think. Or I'm sorry, the AFC South. The Saints are on the NFC South. Somewhere in the South, though, with either the Titans or the Saints, I think.
I agree. Because, I mean, Derek Carr is kind of like,
And
it was a good sign.
Levis just got benched.
It was a good sign. It was a good sign. But I mean, they kind of fucked up and they're in the middle of the pack right now. So,
right. 1 second here. All right. So, real quick, thank you guys. Sorry about that. I hate it when my dog starts to eat tissue out of nowhere. So, but
you don't want that. You gotta kick their ass outside.
All right, so let's bring up one other name, and then we'll take a little break, and then we'll play the Commish's highlights, weekly Sunday highlights. So, next name I want to bring up real quick. Let's switch it up to the other food group here, like the receivers, and DeAndre Hopkins having a bit of resurgence. Will be 33. He's 32 now, but by the time the season starts, he will be 33 of age. He's got 50 receptions for the year, just made over 500 yards, so 566 yards receiving, and then 5 touchdown passes. So he's another one, like I said, started off at the beginning of the season with the Tennessee Titans and was doing next to nothing over there in Tennessee. And when you have a quarterback like Will Levis there, throwing you the ball, like there's only so much you can do. I mean, but we saw it once he got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs and was actually with a valuable quarterback, his numbers have been going up a lot more. So, granted, being with the Chiefs, you do have a little bit more mouths to feed there. You have a few more options, but it does seem like Mahomes, for the most part, has developed some rapport with him real quick, so, and hopefully that lasts. I think it would be good if Hopkins were to re-sign with the Chiefs there. And I guess real quick side note, we can go ahead and add another interception to Sam Darnold's total interception rate for the year. Instead of 10, it's now 11 there. Tyreek Stevenson with the pick from a bad throw there. But anyways, back to Hopkins. I think Kansas City would be the best option for Hopkins to re-sign there. To me, it seems like he's gelling pretty well there in Kansas City, and especially if they do win a championship there in Kansas City, then
sorry, Nick. I go yell at people. Leave me the fuck alone.
No. It's all good. It's all good.
But
we're just talking about Hopkins and stuff. I was thinking that I think the best thing for him would be to re-sign with the Chiefs there, going over his numbers. He's looked a lot better since being traded to the Chiefs from the Titans. These are his numbers of from year to date here. So,
I mean, to be honest, like he was happy to get out of Tennessee.
oh yeah,
Like that was the. I mean, like for fantasy league, it was great because it opened up two people. Like Calvin Ridley decided to go off, and I mean, Mr. Mayo is getting benched, and so that's someone else who's going to need a quarterback. Who's going to be at the high, the top end of the draft. So, but I mean, Hopkins has always been someone who's, which we talked about, like you thought he would have more impact like around the red zone,
mm-hmm.
like someone like a Devontae Adams, but he
Right.
hasn't really like shown up. But he's been consistent. That's what's crazy. It's like one thing else. Like, he's been about the 5 to 6 catches for like 80 yards,
Right.
or 60 yards or whatever. Like
With the
you know,
touchdown here and there.
a touchdown here and there. If anything, he's someone that's helped everybody else out because he just distracts everybody. Because
Mm.
you know him. If you throw that motherfucker up, he'll go between 5 people and catch that shit and bring it back. That's just the way, like you
Yeah.
can't you can't teach size. You can't teach size. And that dude's huge with long ass fucking catch radius and hands. Like I think he has like fucking 8 hands. Like it's like this. It's like this. Like Bernard Hopkins has hands like that. Like it's like he just fucking
That's
goes up
one
there and
hand,
just fucking
yeah.
he just fucking catches shit. Like it's
That's
insane.
hilarious.
Like I mean, I was at work when he was in the Cardinals and caught that fucking ridiculous, Hail Mary
Triple coverage.
against
Yeah.
against the Bills, and I still don't know how he fucking caught that ball. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you
He's
have that
definitely
guy on your team and in the red zone in the Super Bowl, you toss that motherfucker up. I mean, that's just something that Kansas City has a whole new kind of weapon. So it sucks for fantasy
yeah.
because he's not productive as he is, and I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. I don't see him going anywhere else. I don't know why he would go anywhere else. I mean, he actually got to a team, and if he doesn't get a Super Bowl this year, he has a pretty good damn chance of getting one next year too. I mean, Hollywood
Right.
Brown hasn't played the whole year. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're going to get Rashid Weiss again next year. Because they already got Xavier Worthy on his second year. They have 3 guys who are all fucking pretty much midgets who can just run the fuck out of anywhere and all track stars. So who would he not stay there? Him and Travis Kelsey are going to eat like 10 catches a game, and then they're just going to wait for someone to drop. Like I am absolutely pissed off to think about the fact how good that offense could be next year because their offense has been shit this year.
Right.
And if they get
Somehow
everybody
winning, though.
back next
Somehow
year,
winning.
if they can get everybody back next year, that offense with Isaiah Pacheco and everything, even older Travis Kelsey, with him
Well,
over the
hopefully,
middle all day long, like that is disgusting because they
well,
just don't deserve to be 12-1 right now, and they probably could be better next year.
yeah, there's definitely not a team where, like, looking at the way they play, they don't play like a 12-1 team. So they look like they should have at least 3 losses on their record. And if it wasn't for one big toe and a missed field goal, they probably would have 3 losses. But
A couple fucking doinks and whatever else, But
right,
I mean, I don't see DeAndre Hopkins going anywhere. Like I don't see why. He actually got to a team. All these years, he's wanted to get to a team. He finally got to one. And the only
I
thing I
guess
see him is if he decides he wants to retire. If he decides he wants to retire, and then, that's on
he'll win
him.
a
But I
championship,
think,
maybe.
I mean, he might. I mean, he might. But I honestly think that he wants to, pad his, Hall of Fame stats.
Mm-hmm.
I think he stays there, and he stays in there 2 years. I mean, the guy, like you said, the guy's like 33.
Okay.
It's like he's washed. It's like he's washed or anything. Like he's never a burner or anything like that. He's always just been so much bigger than everybody else. I'm gonna go out there and get the fucking ball. So
Right. Yeah, he's always been that man playing amongst children type of game. That's the kind of game he had, where he just towers over everybody and kind of just leaps over everybody. So
it's like when we play 1-on-1, I fuck you up.
this motherfucker. All right. With that being said, let's just go ahead and play some of the highlights of the week here, and then we'll go ahead and finish off the rest of our list here of some of the upcoming free agents. So if you guys need to take a break, go grab another drink or whatnot. If not, enjoy these highlights.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Empty backfield once again. Daniels looking, moving to his left, under pressure, stays on his feet, and now he throws.
You like that? You like that?
More neutral downs because the defense has played a lot better, which allows them to lean on that run game.
Couple big plays on third down on this drive. 3rd and 4. Rush end zone. Lamb adjusts. 2 timeouts. See what Carolina can do. Young goes up top, and there's Jalen Coker.
Ay! It's cocaína!
The rookie in a foot race that he'll win. Touchdown.
Burrow looking deep. He's got Higgins out there. Caught.
Biggest play of the day for the Saints. And now Cedric Wilson fires across the field.
Deep for Adams. He's got Devontae Adams. Adams is going to take it into the end. Fake it to him this time. And they got a wide open target. It's one of the linemen. It's Skipper.
Oh, Hercules. 2nd
and 4. Staying on the ground to Cook. Nice cut. Cook taken off. He actually almost got stopped, but he's
run game or quarterback run game.
They set up Mitchell. It's going to be a double pass.
Say, congratulations, you played yourself.
And that one is intercepted. Oh. It's Bonito. Empty set, blitz coming. Mayfield out to the left. Throws on the move for Mike Evans, who gets loose. Down the sideline, Mike Evans. It's
Holy mackerel. That is football.
Man, you know what? I've got to say something real quick. You're not a very commissioner. You're not a very good commissioner on any of our football leagues. You're even a horrible fucking fantasy football player. But there's one thing you're fucking great at, is producing some of the best fucking highlights on fucking this motherfucking shit right there. I got to give this. Everybody, if you're watching this motherfucker, you know what? That is the shit right there. That is the shit right there. None of my team was in there because we didn't deserve none of it, but that's okay. I mean, but you know what? Every week, that shit is fucking lit. That shit is fire. That shit takes time. I want you people to understand how hard that is to make sure that fucking thing comes fucking clean and crisp every time. You know what? My man, I don't like you, but I love you. You sorry, final motherfucker. You piece of shit. But you know what? Those highlights are fucking lit every goddamn time. Every goddamn time. You know, gotta tell man those little fucking things in there too. Hook it up. That's what I'm talking about, people. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Dedication to your craft. Let's go. Let's go. You know what? You can't fucking talk shit to me no matter what. He sucks everything else, but you know what? The one good thing he's good at. The one good thing he's good at is fucking producing that one hell of a highlight.
I got one thing. So, but I appreciate the kind words. We also appreciate all our sponsors, Fantasy Jocks. Thank you for sponsoring us. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners out there watching us, watch the show, go to Fantasy Jocks, man. If you need a fantasy football boards, if you need a fantasy football belts, rings, even if it's for basketball or baseball, you do commissioners for those leagues. Fantasy Jocks will definitely hook you up. Let them know the Crooked Commish sent you. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you real quick, one of the little trinkets that we do in one of our leagues here is if you do have the number 1 seed or number 1 seed team there by the end of the season, you do get to pick your opponent, kind of maybe rearrange the fantasy.
We've seen how that's changed shit. That's crazy. We've seen how that's changed things. Like people have targeted player, you know, because they thought they were weak, and then actually lose as the number 1 seed. So like that's insane. Like I like that we do that to each other. That we're like, you know what, you're my bitch. Like,
yeah. I'll take the
and I like the
right
fact
there.
that they've lost because of it. Like
Yeah,
we got a
and then
guy
we've had
who was the number 8 guy in the league because of it to win because someone decided to switch up the the natural rotation of everything and then just if everything would have been different, that person would have won the championship because they decided to fucking make a choice.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's funny how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and how things fucking break when you go like that. And that guy that picked him and made the switch, he had the highest scoring points that whole week. So I mean, he would have beaten anybody that particular week. So that week he would have knocked out the guy that won, that ended up winning the championship, had he just left it the same. But you lose and you learn. What can you say? So some learn slower than others.
Oh no, I know you're giving that to me because you know why? You know why? Because you lost this week and I won, so I got the number 1 seed now. I got a choice to make. I got a choice to make. But we gotta let the dust settle because I don't know who my bitch is this week, this next week either. I don't know who my bitch is. I've been on a heater. I've been on a heater the past couple of weeks. I just want to give me shit. But my team's been.
I'd rather lose this week and get my losing over with, and then go ahead and win the rest of the year on out. If you're going to lose any,
it's okay. I'm about to take that belt home with me. I'm about to take my home belt, and my team has been shitting on whoever I've been playing. So when my shit, my tackle is shitting on whoever the fuck I'm playing that week. That's what my fucking team is going to be. It's been something I just went with the whole week. I don't know why I did it. I don't know. I was drunk when I did it the first time, so I said, fuck it. I just kept going.
What a fucking surprise.
So, what a fucking surprise. Hey, but it worked out.
It has been working out for you. It has been working out. Hopefully it doesn't continue to work out the whole fantasy season. But we shall see. So,
hey, I shit on you once this year. I should shit on you again.
R. Kelly up in this motherfucker? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
No,
anyway, let's get back
to it. He pissed on you, motherfucker. That's different. Get your shit together. Get your shit together.
Allegedly.
Well, I'm gonna allegedly shit on your head, motherfucker.
You nasty bitch. All right, let's go ahead and look on to the next free agent player here. We have Chris Godwin. Going to be 29 years of age once the season starts again.
Ooh.
He suffered an ankle injury, dislocated ankle.
He's getting resigned. He's getting resigned. He's getting
50 yards or 50 catches, 576 yards, 5 touchdowns before he got injured. So there's another one.
To me,
he was staying with Tampa.
Like he's probably like the second best player out of the slot than CeeDee Lamb. Like CeeDee Lamb is obviously the number 1 best wide receiver out of the slot, and if he would have had that Prescott for most of the year and he would have held out and did everything, I think he would have had a normal year. For me, I think Godwin, is gonna command money. If he didn't get hurt, he would have got even more money. Mike Evans is a beast, and he's going to continue to be a beast on the outside. But Godwin found his way after they figured out that he needed to get inside, and he figured it out. He really did. He was the number 1 wide receiver. He really was for most of that year. In the beginning of the year, when Baker Mayfield was having all those games where they were just lighting everybody up, is because Godwin was having the game and not Mike Evans. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's
one hell of a 1-2 punch. That's one hell of a 1-2 punch. But when he got hurt is when they went on a 4-game losing streak. And they couldn't figure stuff out because Mike Evans got hurt too. And they all got hurt, and then this is what happens in the football. But like he's probably the second best slot receiver in football, easily. And I'm not even going to be.
Can't argue with
I wouldn't sneeze at that. Like I would literally say that I mean, CeeDee Lamb's probably, well, he is the best slot receiver, but Mike Evans, I'm sorry, Charles Godwin is not far behind. Chris Godwin, I'm sorry. Chris Godwin's not far behind. He really is not. Like, he was having ridiculous games every week. And, like, believe me, because I faced him a few times back-to-back weeks in different leagues, and he was throwing up 30 points. And if you're throwing 32, 35-point, weeks every week, it means you're catching – he was catching like 10 balls for like 150 and a touchdown or two. So, I mean,
big time numbers.
You can't sit there and say that guy found a spot, and Baker is going to be there for the next 2 years. So he's going to probably say something about like, I want that guy, because Mike Evans, though he's the Hall of Famer, he really is, but he's on the end of his career.
He definitely is.
There's not too many 29-year-olds who are going to go out there, even though he's coming off injury. There's not too many 29-year-olds who can dominate the field the middle of the field the way he does. So
I agree.
He's definitely going to stay put. I don't see him going
teams
anywhere.
I'm hoping he does not go to is I'm hoping he doesn't find his way to Green Bay. They don't have too many receivers other than Jalen Reed. I'm not sure what the deal is with Christian Watson, if they really are happy with him and if he's going to stick around. So, like I said,
but I don't like that because they have a shit and they have Dobbs. They have like a lot of different people, and it's like they have too many mouths to feed over there. So, to be honest, I think they would be okay to lose one or two, just so it can thin out the herd. You know what I mean? Like Jalen Reed doesn't get the ball often. Christian Watson kind of goes over the top. Romeo Dobbs kind of catches whatever, when he's healthy.
That's kind of being my point is they don't have any kind of big time guy there, and Chris Godwin would be. I mean, matching him up with Jalen Reed and kind of giving him another weapon that maybe, like I said, that would give him
my only problem is that they haven't paid none of their guys yet. So it would be hard to say they're going to bring in someone they paid from outside when they had like a stable of 4 or 5 studs, and they don't pay none of them. I don't see that happening.
Well, they may not see them as all studs. Like Wicks may not be viewed as a stud. No,
but I'm saying, but they got to pay somebody. They got to pay somebody, and they might let go of Wicks, they might let go of Dobbs. But then if you keep Christian Watson and Jalen Reed, I mean, you already have your 1 and 2. So I don't see them bringing in someone who came off a knee injury and giving him big money to be the first, second, or third guy. No, I don't see that going like anywhere. Like Tampa Bay is going to give him the bag. He's staying there because, I mean, like I said, Baker Mayfield is not going to let. Baker Mayfield will get pissed. Like, I mean, after that, Mike Evans, obviously, like I said, he's come back and he's been great since he's come back.
And that may be the thing with Joe Baker is like you played half the season without him and you've been doing fine. You know what I mean? You haven't been terrible.
No, but he did it though because they lost 4 games in a row. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they obviously they need weapons. Like that's one thing. Is that team is a middle team. The good thing for them is that they're in the South. And to be honest, if Kirk Cousins doesn't regress the way that he did, everybody thought that Atlanta was probably be like a 10-win team right now, 11-win team right now, and fighting for, especially because of where they were in the beginning of the year. Like they've fallen off hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a team who's underachieved, like horribly.
Sure.
So if Kirk Cousins gets let go or whatever they do, and Michael Penix shows up next year and balls the fuck out, like that South is going to be a problem because they're going to own it for like 3 or 4 years because he's going to be on a rookie contract and they can bring free agents. They can do whatever they want. And Tampa Bay is going to be in trouble. So there's no way they let Chris Godwin leave.
All right. Let's move on to our next guy. This guy's definitely leaving. He's had issues all this season, and there was chatter at the beginning of the season about him possibly being traded and going elsewhere. I think I got it. And it is T. Higgins. He will be 26 years of age once the season starts.
Oh.
50 catches for the
He's
season.
about to get turned.
And 6 touchdowns so far with 4 games left to go. So he's definitely ain't staying in Cincinnati.
So I mean, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get 30 plus. I mean, that's unfortunately for this league. If you're paying the quarterback, you're paying the wide receiver, and he's shown enough ability to be a 1, 2, or 3, especially in Cincinnati when you had all those mouths to feed. His problem, he needs to stay fucking healthy. He does not play a full season.
Up, yeah.
So that is going to fucking hurt him more than anything else. But, I mean, he's going to make at least $30 million because that's just what the market says. That's just the market says. Like, it says sucks.
Any
you
particular
know what
team
are you gonna do? But he's gonna get 4 years, 120, and how much is that guaranteed, or how much is that like put into incentives that he stays healthy and does something? That's different depending on the team that he goes to. But there's 32 teams that need him. You know what I mean? There's 32 teams that need T. Higgins, including his own. So
I'd say
I'm sorry. Like, I mean, he's only reason he's not a number 1 on his team is because he has Chase on his team. So he has Jamar Chase over there.
I think T. Higgins would probably be a good fit if he could land in Arizona and pair him up with Marvin Harrison Jr.
I don't know the cap situation. In Arizona, but that would be a great. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Not looking at the cap wise at all, but just looking at
I mean,
who would be a good fit.
I mean, it's a great fit because like, you would take some heat off of Marvin Harrison Jr. and he would be a bona fide number 1, and he would give Kyler Murray a weapon, which they need over there. Obviously, he's already on his second head coach, so Kyler Murray needs to figure his shit out because he's really got the bag. So if he doesn't figure it out with the second coach, at this point, they might move off of him. But I mean,
right?
Like I said, there's 32 teams. There's 32 teams that need a guy who's a number 1. So you can't really say anything. It's about salary cap. It's about movement. How can it fit them in and draft capital? The good thing for him is that he's not going to cost anybody once he leaves. So when Cincinnati loses him, they're going to lose him. I think they franchise him though. I honestly do. Honestly, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they franchise. Who else on the team would they franchise? I mean, like,
you don't have to put it on somebody. You don't have to put it on somebody, but I mean that would just.
But you're just like Joe Burrow right now is having an MVP season.
Yeah,
they're having an MVP season with the shittiest defense ever. So like I never seen anybody throw more 3 touchdowns, 300 games, and lose the game by like 3 or 4 points because their defense couldn't do anything. So I mean,
I would be surprised if he stays with Cincinnati. I mean, I get why they want to keep him.
I just can't see Cincinnati just say 1 more year, fuck it. Franchise his ass. Maybe he sits out, maybe he does anything, he does that shit. But I mean,
right.
NFL franchises are assholes. Like they don't gotta, say like, okay, go ahead and go and make money. They're like, fuck you, you're staying here for $30 million for 1 year.
Yeah, no, you ain't lying about that. They definitely they think about their needs before the players' needs for sure. So let's go ahead and move on to. We only got a few more names left here to talk about and bring up here. Both of this guy is coming off of injury as well, and it is Stephon Diggs. He is 31 years of age, 47 catches, had an ACL injury earlier in the season, only had 3 touchdown catches with 496 yards for the season. What he was on the last year of his contract when he got traded to Houston. I mean, coming out now that he has this injury, is he going to be just a name at this point, or
that's what hurts me. Is like I think his time as someone who commands a salary is done. I think the best thing for him would be to stay in Houston and take like $15 million, for 1 year, and try to prove that he's not washed and he's not that person. But I mean, I think I would be little worried about how bad CJ Stroud just regressed. I mean, I get it. He was throwing to Michi and a couple of different people and whoever, but it's
better late than never.
I was like, but I mean, to be honest, like, where does he go at this point? Like, he came to Houston so they could prove himself to that he wasn't done. And even when he, beginning of the year, because I drafted him, like Nico Collins was absolutely number one. He was absolutely number one, and he hasn't really shown since then. When Nico Collins went down, the 2 or 3 games that he had by himself, he didn't really do much. And then he got hurt, and so to me, like I would hope that he stays in Houston because it's some continuity and something that he can actually hopefully build upon. But even then, like I think his days of like just commanding, that $30 million are done. I see him 15 to like $18 million for like a 1 year rental. I mean, because obviously he's still someone, incentives, built incentives, because obviously he's coming off a knee injury, so you have to put that in there. You have to put that in there after you come off an ACL or whatever he got hurt with. I forgot what it was. But
what would be a crazy landing spot for him? Crazy landing spot is if he was to take Odell Beckham's place in Miami and have Tyreek, Stephon Diggs, and what's his name, Waddle.
Well, I mean, Jalen Waddle can't stay healthy either. So I mean, that would be interesting. That would be interesting because I mean, I don't think he's washed, but I just think that he needs to kind of prove himself. So I mean, that would be good. He would stay somewhere in the South. He stay close. I think Indianapolis would be another good. If you're talking about that, I think Indianapolis would be another good spot for him because they're a bunch of young QBs, and in a similar situation, he came to Houston, and he would stay somewhere down south. So obviously, I'm assuming that's where his family's at. So that's where he wanted to stay. So I mean, I don't. I think he would stay. If you're staying somewhere in the south, I think Indianapolis would be. If Indianapolis would be open to him coming in.
Yeah.
Like, because none of those guys have actually stood up and been like Michael Pittman,
Alec Pierce,
Pierce, Josh Downs. None of those guys have been like the people that they wanted to show up. So I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that would be a place for him to go if he wanted to get like a 2-year deal or a 1 or 2 year deal. I think that's somewhere good because I do think that Houston is going to move off of him.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't get what they wanted out of him with that trade.
No, they didn't.
So it's just kind of like
really. I drafted him thinking different. So that definitely
it was one of those things where when I didn't draft him and I saw him go off, I was kind of like, damn it. But now that the season worked out the way it was, thank God I didn't draft him. But in hindsight, in that moment, though, I should say, it was one of those where it's like, shit, I should have maybe looked to get Diggs or thinking he could have lasted one more round, and he didn't. But like I said, I ended up going with Tank Dell instead, and he's been just as disappointing, and he hasn't gotten hurt. So he definitely has had a softer slump. So.
I mean, but a lot has been a lot of CJ Stroud and the offense just kind of got took over by Mixon. So I mean, Mixon took over the offense, but it doesn't matter that Schultz has kind of disappeared, and Nico Collins has kind of popped here and there. But even him, as being the number one guy, has been someone that I took a step back. So it's just all been up the quarterback. It's all been the quarterback. Like CJ Stroud just hasn't been as good this year as he was last year.
And that's a lot of teams. The teams will go as far as the quarterback will take them. So, I mean, if the quarterback struggles, the team's going to struggle too.
Well, I mean, the good thing is like they're winning games, so and they're running the clock out with Mixon. So, I mean, they're not throwing. Last
He's
year
been their
they were
lifesaver.
behind a lot, so they won a lot of games because CJ Stroud was just throwing for 350 and 3 touchdowns because they had to. So when it comes to this is our football teams, this is fantasy, and you want to see someone that's going to be behind all the time. You want to see a quarterback that's going to their team sucks, but they got good weapons, and that they're throwing in the 30, 40 times. That's why Jameis Winston was hot for a while because they were throwing for 30, 40 times. But Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston, so he's going to have those games where, yeah, he's throwing for 4 touchdowns and everybody in the offense woke up, but he's throwing it to the team too. So, I mean, it sucks because
he likes to share the ball.
Justin Herbert's another person who would throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions, I lose the game. So he would absolutely kill my fantasy, but the Chargers suck. So it's just one of those things. Like you gotta look through the numbers. You gotta sit for the numbers, and you gotta put your heart to the side, and just be like, is my team gonna suck this? Is my team gonna suck this week? And can my QB actually come back and make it a interesting game? I mean, and so how about Jared Goff this week? Jared Goff has zero reason to throw for 500 yards on 5 touchdowns, and still lost. So, it's just one of those things where you got to pay attention to the matchups, what's going to happen, what's going on. Sometimes you don't pick up people or do things because of your heart or your team. You do it because just pure fucking numbers, and that's that's just what it is about fantasy.
I agree. The numbers don't lie. Most often than not, they don't lie as far as what's going on with the production and whatnot. So let's bring up our last guy here, and then we can go ahead and wrap up the show. So here's another guy that recently traded. Started off with one team, the Browns, at the beginning of the year. Amari Cooper, 30 years old. Only 40 catches for the season, not even 500 yards for the season, and only 3 touchdown catches for the season. So even going to Buffalo, he still really hasn't been featured all that much. He's a guy that I traded for before the trade deadline. Been a bit of disappointing just because, like I said, he really hasn't been involved too much. Threw up a big fat 0 here this past week here. It did not help me at all. So where do you see Amari Cooper possibly staying in Buffalo and being re-signed there? I know he likes it. He says he likes the locker room, and
I think that depends on Buffalo. That's 100% depends on Buffalo. Like, I think when he got there, Keon Williams jumped the fuck off the page. Once he got there, Keon Williams went fucking off, and then Keon Williams got hurt, and then he got hurt. Mark Cooper got hurt, and that's one of the big things is that he's never been able to live up to his expectations, even in Dallas. Even though when he had 80 catches for like 6 or 7 touchdowns and 1,300 yards, it wasn't what he was supposed to be doing because they were empty. They were empty catches, empty yards, whatever. He was never. Amari Cooper's never been that guy to when I need a fucking first down, I'm gonna get it. When I need a touchdown, I'm gonna get it. When I need a fucking big ass game, I'm gonna get it from him. So now that he's 30 years old, he better hope that the Buffalo Bills want to keep him because I'm sure there'll be some teams that will pick him up, but he's not gonna get that $30 million from another team. He's gonna get 2 years. $20 million with incentives. That's just where he's at right now in his career because he hasn't shown that he can do it on a consistent basis when the time matters. And so that's for me. He had Dak Prescott for all those years, and him and Dak Prescott made a lot of money for each other, and good for them. But when it came down to like we needed someone to make a catch, he was never been that guy. He just hasn't been that guy,
Okay.
And he's already shown it when he went to Cleveland. He did nothing in Cleveland, and I mean, granted,
Having
he
Deshaun
had
Watson
nothing.
throw the ball,
He had nothing for over there, but then he comes to Buffalo, and he is totally like energized, everything, whatever. And I think he has like one game that's over like 20 points since he's been in Buffalo. So, and I'm sorry, now you have a top three, if not the number one, quarterback in the game, and you've done nothing with that. Like this was his time to show the fuck up, show the fuck out, and figure it out.
Right.
And
I mean,
and he didn't do it. Like Keon Coleman did it. Keon Coleman did it more than him. Like, and that's what it is for me. Like, so I mean, I think he's gonna if he does get any kind of good contract, it's going to be incentive laden. It's going to be 2 years. I don't see it more than $40 million, no more than 18 to 19 guaranteed, and it's going to be incentive laden. It's just unfortunately for him.
We'll see what happens with him. It'll be interesting to see if Buffalo does try and re-sign him or if he goes to some of the other teams we talked about earlier, whether it be Arizona possibly, maybe the Colts.
Buffalo thought he was the key to unlocking shit. And hey, hold on, because the playoffs are coming. So he might blow the fuck up and make himself a lot of money because
more money.
Buffalo is going to be deep in the playoffs. I don't see them going out early. So, I mean, with that caveat, he might make himself some money still. If he goes for 2-3 games in the playoffs and he has 8 or 9 catches for $120, $150, and a touchdown or two, I mean, he might recoup some money.
Yeah, no, his name will definitely shoot up at the top of the list as far as valuable free agents and wide receiver free agents. At that, the thing that he's got going from his numbers aren't great, but he is, if assuming, knock on wood, he's going to end this season healthy. So unlike guys like Chris Godwin and other ones where they're banged up going into the offseason.
Got projections. So
correct.
Yeah,
so
Chris Godwin, project him to be pretty good. But like I said, if he goes in the playoffs and he balls the fuck out, I mean, make you some money, son. Make you some money.
There you go. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show tonight. We ran a little bit over than normal, but we were having such a good time at the clubhouse. We had to just keep chatting it up with y'all. So, Mouth from the Bay, is there any final words or advice that you would like to give for fantasy football playoff week going into round 2?
I mean, it's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. I always say, like, check your fucking availability. Make sure the person that is on your starting roster has a big old fucking 0 next to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, all you got to do is, walk up to the last thing and make sure this guy is doubtful the whole week. Keep him in your fucking roster like a dumbass. Because that might cost you, especially in the playoffs right now. And the last thing you want to do is wear a pink fucking jersey next year and you're coming back because you're a fucking asshole who lost your shit. I'm just saying. You spent all this time to get to the playoffs, to get here right now, and don't be that person to leave a donut on your fucking starting roster.
No, like I said, unless you're into losing, if that's your kind of thing or whatnot, or you like to make life harder on yourself, then, obviously go ahead and do it. It's your money too. I mean, if you want to,
all right, you do what you want with
lose it that way.
Hey, everybody in their fantasy league loves free money. Everybody loves free money.
Dead money at that. All right, guys. Thank you again for checking us out. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Please subscribe to us if you haven't already. So we do appreciate any and all that has tuned into us today and checked us out.
If you don't, hit the thumbs up. Click on their profile and hit it again. Shit. Yeah.
There you go.
I got fucked.
So, guys, we're coming towards the holiday season. We only have a little bit longer left to go here, only a few more weeks. I know either the last week there or second to last week, we're going to start talking about the college football players coming up in this upcoming draft. Talk about which guys, the bigger
So
names.
if you want to throw somebody in there, throw some people names. Like it's like I got a couple names in there, couple sleepers that I've been seeing. A couple of things that who knows if they show up on next year's draft and they get drafted, and it always depends on the teams. Always depends on the teams and who you're going, because you always want the sleepers. You want those guys that you never know who, no one knew nothing about.
Yeah, no, I mean, exactly. And this is where you got to tune into the Clubhouse and kick it here at the Clubhouse. We're going to talk about all these guys and any of the guys that you guys bring up in the chat. We'll be more than happy to look them over, talk about it, and see what round where they may go and how much of an impact.
I was going to get a quick commission. If he wants to bring me my 2 cases of beer this weekend, we come over to chill on Saturday, and we can watch all these college football games, all these bowl games. I mean, it's cool because, I know someone lost a couple bets. So I'm just saying, if he wants to bring
I might do that. I'll make sure the beers are nice and warm for you. How about that? So
I'm okay. I got 3 refrigerators. I'm okay with that.
Good. You're gonna need them. So since I bring you a shit ton of beer all of a sudden. So, anyways, guys, again, thank you for checking us out. We really do appreciate it. Thank you to all our sponsors, Fantasy Jocks, Moore's Beers, In the Zone. We really do appreciate it.
What's beers? Send me some beers.
We need some Moore's beers. So, but anyways, like I said, check us out. Tomorrow is the main show. The Tuesday's main show. We're going to break down the Bears and Vikings game and talk about what the fuck went wrong here, because it's not looking good. So, but then Tuesday or
nothing, fucker, why you crying?
That's a lot to us for the Bears. So, but yeah, check us out. Like I said, Tuesday's the main show. Thursday's the Bulls show, and then next Sunday we will have our pregame show. So we'll be back at it again. Take care, guys. Be good, and remember, if you can't be good, well, damn it, at least be good at it.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
And now it's all over.